What's up, guys? DK here with Collector's Impact, and today it's going to be a pretty chill video, a nice little Magic the Gathering vintage card reveal video. These are just raw cards. I'm not submitting them for grading quite yet, though some of these probably will be going for grading. So this is much more of just a chill, relax, take a nice look at some old cards and go down memory lane type of video. So hopefully you guys enjoy this. I want to go ahead and give a shout out to my friend Eric. We've been friends for many, many years. He's one of my vintage buddies from back at the card shop days, and I went and visited him recently and did some vintage gaming and some trading and everything, and that's where a lot of these cards came from his massive vintage collection. So we were pretty heavy into vintage back in the day, so we went ahead and reminisced and traded some of our vintage cards to each other. So these are the resulting cards. Up first, we've got Tolarian Academy from Urza's Saga. And this card is reserve list, but it's a banned card. So, yeah, in my opinion, it's heavily undervalued in terms of its financial value. It's worth like $100, $100 to $150, somewhere in between there. This particular one is moderately played. Just overall, this was always one of my favorite cards in vintage. I used to love running this card. I mean, it's broken as hell, so makes sense why, but yeah, it's pretty nice to have another one in my collection. And this one right here is probably my favorite one that I got in these trades this time around. So this is City of Brass in English from Arabian Nights. It does have a little speck there. I'm not sure what's up with that, but overall, the card is pretty nice. I mean, it is in it's in used condition, though it isn't terrible, that's for sure. I think I am going to get this one graded just because I love having my extreme vintage cards in slabs these days. Overall, man, this Mark Teton classic artwork from Arabian Nights is one of the best in my opinion. So, and the market kind of reflects it. The card is not reserve list, yet it's still worth multiple hundreds of dollars. So that does kind of speak volumes. Though you can get the Chronicles version of it for, what, $10 or less, something like that. If you like the art but you want a more affordable version, there is always Chronicles. But I've been wanting one of these for a while. I used to have a bunch of this kind of stuff, but I traded it and sold it over the years, so it's nice to get a few pieces back. And here we have a Badlands signed by Rob Alexander. So, yeah, this one will be going off to PSA for grading as well for DNA certification service, as that greatly increases the value and overall appeal of the card in a case like this. But yeah, no complaints there. This is this is absolutely a gorgeous piece to have. We've got good old Copy Artifact from Revised. These cards have really been going on a roller coaster ride recently, haven't they? Like they I remember when they were dirt cheap, so it's always nice to have a few extra copies when they're continuing to increase in value, and they probably will for many years to come as it is reserve list. And then we got Reset from Legends. This card I do not believe is a reserve list, so it's not reserve list, but it's just kind of cool. And it's just kind of a weird artwork anyway, you know? It definitely screams like classic early 90s Magic type of art and everything, and it's in decent condition. The worst thing on it is this whitening in the upper corner, so not worth a ton of money, at least at present time, but it's a pretty cool card to have. Now, this is a card that I've had my eye on for a while and just haven't been able to pick one up. But now I was able to get this one from my friend there, so that was pretty cool. This is Lady Evangela here, and I really like this artwork. I mean, it's another Mark Poole classic. It's got the nice lady there with the rainbow and everything. Super flavorful card. Yeah, overall not bad. And I think this is a reserve list card, but they're not really worth that much in comparison to some of the other big names out there. So who knows, maybe one day it will be. Now we bust into a few random ones here. So we've got 3 Rainbow Veils from Fallen Empires, and these are in pretty much pack fresh condition. And they're not worth a ton of money, at least in the present day, but they might be in the future, considering their reserve list. And of all of the Fallen Empires cards that I've opened, I've only ever pulled a few of these from packs, so they're pretty short print for what they are. And then from a more modern era, we've got 2 of the Anime Chandra Planeswalker cards from the very first dual decks that came out. They did a special Japanese version of it alongside with the English one, and in the Japanese ones they had anime art for Chandra and Jace. So it's pretty cool. Pretty nice, unique thing. I don't know if these have ever been reprinted, but they're not reserve list or anything, so they could reprint them at any time, but it's just kind of a cool thing to have. And they're in pretty good shape, so I will be getting those graded if and when the bulk grading prices come down. And last but not least, we have 2 deranged hermits. With the popularity of squirrels at an all-time high these days, these are definitely seeing some gain in value recently, but they're still they're just ridiculous. And these particular ones are not in the best of condition, so I didn't even put them in the hard sleeves. These are in pretty heavily played condition. So they're just for my personal collection. I might make a squirrel deck one day. Just figured I'd have them. Well, that wraps up the video for today, guys. I hope that you enjoyed this random reveal of a few cards that I recently picked up here for Magic. It's always nice to just chill and look at some old cards and appreciate that fine art and craftsmanship they used to put into these things. And they still do put in a lot of craftsmanship. You know, I'm not going to knock them, but the business practices around some of the newer stuff is a little bit questionable, so they're just not as coveted, at least at the current time. But I do think, I'll just go ahead and state that I think in the future, you go like 10 years into the future, people will look back on the cards from the 2020, 2021 era here, and they'll probably have a similar kind of nostalgia for them. Especially if Wizards changes direction, they will be desired as well. So anyway, guys, thank you very much for checking out this video. I really appreciate it. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up, as it greatly helps the channel, and subscribe for more content like this in the future. All right, thanks again for coming by, and I hope to see you again next time. Take care.